This message is transforming lives and organisations from the inside out, person by person and cell by living cell. Remember, you can change your DNA.
How long did it take you to write it?
Well, it would take a couple of answers.
Yeah.
The book really has been in process and progress for about 15 years. To actually write it, when I decided to really put the science behind the philosophy, it took us about a year.
Okay.
And that was two of us working on it constantly, which is Rich Fowler and myself, with Anne-Marie reading edits till she had to get glasses. So,
Poor thing. Has it been tough, Emery?
Very tough.
Oh, good. It's tough, huh?
yeah. You're talking about the book?
Yeah. No, but if you've got any questions, hold on to them, even from the first part. Hey, before we get into this, the RAS things.
Yeah.
Even what in the break there, you were still talking about it. You're pumped about that.
Mate, I think coming from I'm going to say it and I'll put it out there on web TV, I believe the RAS is the anatomical home for the soul of the human species. We are the only species on the earth that have a neopatilian brain. I won't try and wax clinical, but that means we have the ability to reason beyond just what is instinctively done like a reptile or a reptilian response.
Okay.
So we can choose to do things that are left, not to be understood sometimes, and the way people write music. And if you look at all the greatest laureates or all the Nobel Prize winners, they all come from a giving philosophy of life. Very few takers do you see in those halls of fame. So I've decided to become a specialist of the soul. I was obviously, as we mentioned in the earlier session, Jamie, that theological door was my entry into this, but I've discovered that whether it's a sports team or a family or a business or any area of organism or organised living of the human species, if it lacks soul, it's lacking a way of seeing the future. Without a vision, you're just not going to make it. There's an old proverb that says, "Without a vision, people perish." So the only way to get a vision out of your eyes is to have it built firmly and entrenched into your dominant neurological agenda, which is your DNA, which now has a deoxyribonucleic acid backing it up all the way. So the RAS is the anatomical doorway, gateway of that science happening inside your cells. So when your cells get produced through the pituitary, giving the signals into the parts of the bodies that produce the new cellular structure in your body, and that's 40 billion a day, 40 billion new factories a day in your body, they're all going to be transmitted the information that you've dominated, that you've allowed to be your alarm system, that you've allowed to be your motivation. That's what's going to every cell. And the RAS is the organ that does it.
That's incredible.
It's amazing, and that's your soul, and it's in the book. And I actually said to a publisher who's looking at, taking the book from a self-published into a international publishing situation, if that happens, that'll be great. But regardless of that fact, I wasn't going to put this in the book, and they said, go ahead and put it, and they weren't from my background. And this is a statement. I said, if Jesus was walking on the earth today, I firmly believe that he wouldn't necessarily say you should be born again. He would say, you've got to change your DNA. You've got to change what you allowed to dominate your thinking.
Interesting.
And he was love-based, and I think love is not just eros, which is physical or sensual. Love is looking for the good in everything that you can get a chance to look at for.
So does science back this up about the RAS?
Oh, absolutely. Does it back it up that it's there? Or does
that it's there and that it does what you say it does?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
And I cover that in the book. There's a whole chapter on the science of the soul.
Cool.
Yeah, it's called The Science of the Soul. Yeah, every chapter is not just poetic, oh, that sounds nice. It's saying something.
Yeah.